bring into the conversation the Reverend Peter Auld. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. So, you know, there seems to be quite an appetite for conversion to Christianity, and certainly Abdul Ezedi's conversion didn't look very passionate, because he really abjectly failed to answer really any of the questions that were levelled at him correctly, didn't he?
Well, I can't talk about individual cases where I don't know the individual.
Well, it's been in every paper today, all the answers that he got wrong. You don't need to know him individually to answer.
I recommend that.
I beg your pardon? What?
I can't talk about individual cases because I don't know the specifics. I love you're talking about there being a great appetite to convert to Christianity. I'm a big fan of Christianity as a Church of England priest, so I would heartily recommend that. I do think we do have a problem in some parts of the church in this country, not just Church of England, but I think we might be particularly guilty of it, but other churches as well, of sometimes putting some people on a conveyor belt baptism and not actually checking whether they are true converts, whether they really understand what they are getting themselves into. At the same time, I wouldn't want us to put away a lot of the really important pastoral work that churches up and down the country do with migrants into this country, whether they are legal or not, or in that sort of in-between state, to kind of find out.
But if you know that your plea for asylum is very likely to be refused, but if you say that you've converted to Christianity, you have a much better chance of staying here, then, you know, isn't it vital for priests to question quite forensically the genuine, sincere commitment to Christ and the Holy Trinity, to see if it really is sincere, or if it's a means of staying in this country and not being expelled when being expelled is what the right thing to do is?
Yeah, I think that's an absolutely excellent challenge. I think we do have some cases where some clergy have almost kind of whistleblowed and sort of said, well, they've seen people come and be, you know, as I said, on a conveyor belt through baptism. So, you know, almost sort of turn up to church twice and then baptize them, and who cares afterwards, because we think we're being nice. And actually, I think we do have a duty to disciple people better, to really help them understand. You know, there are fantastic sort of discipleship courses like Alpha's very famous Christianity Explored 1, 2, 3. Lots of great courses that I think it'd be very appropriate to put people on, spend time thinking about it. I know of a number of cases of migrants who have converted. It's genuine conversions. It's taken them a year or two from first walking into a church to actually being baptized and becoming members of churches, because churches have taken conversion to Jesus really, really seriously. And that does, as I said previously, do a challenge to some clergy who pretty well will baptize anybody who's breathing.
Do you think some priests are maybe too trusting, maybe naive, maybe gullible even? You know, they're so keen to win souls for Jesus that anybody who pitches up and says, yes, I'm a Christian, whether they are or whether they're not, whether they're interested in the liturgy or not, whether they've ever sung a word of a hymn or ever bended the knee to God, they don't care. They're just very keen to notch them up, and without realising that these are people fighting for their lives in this country. They'll say, some of them, anything at all that they feel like saying to get a free pass to stay.
Vanessa, I couldn't put it better myself. I think I do have colleagues who are guilty of exactly that. And some of it, I think, is can come from a misplaced sense of trying to help people. Some of it is frankly, lazy theology that really doesn't take seriously what conversion to Jesus actually means. You know, because actually I'd want to say to somebody from a country which perhaps it's dangerous to be a Christian in, who came and wanted to convert, I'd want to say to them, if you're serious about being a Christian and you lose your asylum case, do you realize what that means for you going back home, right? And so in Christianity, we have a very strong tradition of 2,000 years of converts taking their life in their hands by converting, right? We used to, in the height of the Roman persecutions, the Roman guards would literally hang outside churches on Easter Sunday when all the baptisms happen, grab the people who've just been baptized, feed them to the lions.
All right, I will leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Good to have your company.